The Free Press did a story today. They threw some names out there that the Pistons could trade for. Did you see this?
No.
Oh, okay. So these are players from teams that might be looking to shed some salary cap and players that could be on the market and that the Pistons could deal for. Amari Sankofa wrote this. I will work my way through this quickly, all right?
Mm-hmm.
The names are two from Portland, Jeremy Grant and Robert Williams III. From Atlanta, DeJounte Murray, DeAndre Hunter, and Bogan Bogdanovic.
That's right, the other bogey.
Yep. From Minnesota, Karl Anthony Towns and Naz Reid. Yeah. From Dallas, Tim Hardaway Jr., Maxi Kleber. From New Orleans, Brandon Ingram. From Chicago, Zach LaVine.
If I had to pick any of them, I like DeJounte Murray.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one, believe it or not, would be Naz Reid. He was sixth man of the year, I believe, this past season. Young player. Look, Karl Anthony Towns is probably the most talented. And it just wouldn't. He's good, but he came up small at the end.
He's a stretch four who can shoot over 40% from three.
He would help the team. There's no doubt about it.
I got to tell you, Karl Anthony Towns is the guy I would want. I truly question their accessibility to him.
No.
I mean, right? I mean, he's got a monster contract, and so are they willing to take under market value? He makes $55 million a year. It would take up almost all the Pistons' eligible cap space. I mean, of course, they would have to send cash back, so maybe it wouldn't. But 6'10", 28 years old, shot 42% from three, averaged 22 a game. You know, you draft Dalton Knecht, you draft Terrence Shannon, you bring in Karl Anthony Towns, but you'd have to give up something to get him.
Yeah, you have to give up Cade, probably.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening.
No.
And so Maxi Kleber is a guy that has a reputation of being a shooter, but he's below average in the NBA. He's a 34% three-point shooter the last 2 years.
And Tim Hardaway Jr. looked very pedestrian in his moments with the Mavericks in the finals.
Mm-hmm. Now, with that said, there's a player on this list that I can't stand. And I can't stand him because he dominates Detroit. The last 2 seasons, this guy has scored the most points per game against Detroit than any other opponent he's played.
Oh, I know who it's got to be because I was there for the opener this year. Zach LaVine, right?
Zach LaVine in 2023-24, the most points he scored against any single team, and he got hurt, but it was the Pistons.
Yeah, he had like 50 in the opening night, and the Pistons still won.
In 2022 and 2023, the 2022-2023 year, his most points per game came against the Pistons. And look, I didn't like him. I've talked about in the air how I don't like him, but why I don't like him is because he's been a pain in the butt. And I question the accessibility to him. Like, I get.
Oh, I think there's accessibility because I think the Bulls want to get rid of him.
The Bulls are an under 500 team that feel like they've gone down this road so many times and they perhaps hit their ceiling, and the ceiling is well short of what they want it to be.
Right. They made an interesting trade yesterday, giving up Caruso to go to get Josh Giddey from Oklahoma City.
Mm-hmm.
Look, the thing with LaVine is it's very complicated because he's a terrific talent, but I don't know, if you're going to try to create a culture, like a winning culture, many people believe he is far from that. Then you have other people say he just wants to ball. All he cares about is balling and, playing and things like that. To me, I don't think he fits what you're trying to build. Is he a really good player? Yes.
Does he put the ball in the basket? Yes.
Yeah. I'm hesitant on what you'd have to give up.
It feels like he commands, well, you'd have to give up a lot, and he commands the basketball.
Mm-hmm.
But
and Ingram I like Ingram a lot, but he gets hurt a lot.
I mean, at some point, though, you have to take a chance.
Yeah, I know.
And so you're right, but can any of these names jump out for you? Anybody that you'd say, I'd go get that guy?
I'm sorry. I'm going to be honest. I missed all the names.
All right.
I was back here.
It's okay. From Atlanta, DeJounte Murray and DeAndre Hunter. From Portland, Jeremy Grant, Robert Williams III. From Minnesota, Karl Anthony Towns and Naz Reid. From Dallas, Tim Hardaway Jr. and Maxi Kleber. From New Orleans, Brandon Ingram. From the Bulls, Zach LaVine.
Each guy has their issues. There's no perfect player out there like that. There's no right. We're not going to get Luka Doncic here. Okay, so Jason Tatum ain't coming here. There's Brandon Ingram intrigues me, but he gets hurt a lot. Karl Anthony Towns intrigues me, but I think he's soft, honestly, for because he's got tremendous talent,
Right.
but he gets in foul trouble all the time. I don't think he's a smart basketball player, and he's not tough enough if you're trying to change the culture here. I like Naz Reid, but that's a great supporting player. I'm looking
Correct.
for guys to build with Cade because Cade can't be the only guy on this team. As you look through the league, Luka needed his co-star, which was Kyrie, right? The Celtics have a great team overall, but they're built around Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Who's the guy next to Cade? Who's the guy next to Cade next to that guy? And then you can start bringing, I think, a Naz Reid helps and those guys. Maybe it's DeJounte Murray. Most likely, guys, I think out of this group, it's probably Ingram because the Pelicans don't want to pay him. If the Pistons are willing to pay him his contract extension, that's probably the guy you pair up with Cade.
The guys I don't want to, and he's not he's a good player, and maybe it's because we've been there, done that. I feel the same way about Tobias Harris and is Jeremy Grant. I mean, it would help the team. He can shoot from the outside, but I don't want to see that again. And the other guy from Portland who's intriguing, but he gets hurt a lot, is the former Celtic Robert Williams. He's a tough ass player. He's a rim protector, and if you get that type of player now. Is it double what Duren is? No, because I don't think Duren's a rim protector. Now, it means that because there's rumors going around, and I heard Mike talking about it off the air. I didn't want to talk about it on the air yesterday. It's that Nick Claxton has been rumored. The Pistons be interested in him in free agency. There's your rim protector. He's a very good defensive player, but he can't shoot from the outside.
Yeah, and that's something they need.
Yeah, I think Duren can still be coached to be a rim protector because he's so athletic and so young. Outside shooting took a hit because Malik Monk re-signed with the Sacramento Kings, and I thought that should have been a great target for the Pistons. But you still got to find shooting. You got to find another co-star for Cade Cunningham. There's a lot of work to be done here. I don't know if Trajan Langdon, he's obviously not going to address it all in one off season, but they've got to do something. I think they got to kind of jumpstart this faster than a normal rebuild because of what the fans have been through.
And because of the resources they have. They have a ton of cap space.
I expect Isaiah Stewart to be traded at some point, to be honest.
Well, it's funny. There's a report out there at this hour from Yahoo saying the Pistons are evaluating the market for Isaiah Stewart.
Because he's got they already locked him up, so whoever gets him is going to get him for a few years. And I think he's young and good enough on the right team to help them.
Correct.
He's not helping this team.
No, he's great. He's a great role player. And he's got his contract is basically with a mid-level exception, so it's not horrible.
248-539-9797. Is there a name there that you would jump on?